Shabbat Shalom, everyone. For those of you who are in the back and still finishing up on your dinner this evening, our service is going to start in just about a minute and a half. So please finish up and come join us. That's why I said just about. So whatever I do, I'm good because I said just about. Bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, at the top of page 128. 128 in your Siddur. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. If you'll turn back to page 120, 120, you'll find our blessings for lighting our Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. As we turn to page 130, we make our way through Kabbalat Shabbat as we say goodbye to the week and hello to the peace of Shabbat. We begin with an excerpt of Psalm 95. Come, let us sing joyously to God and raise a shout for God, our rock and our deliverer. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, Adonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, Adonai. Naria, naria, Tzuri Sheinu, Ekadma Fana Bitoda. Naria, naria, Tzuri Sheinu, Yismirot Rialo. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, Adonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, Adonai. The bottom of page 131 from Psalm 96. Yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz. The heavens will be happy and the earth will also rejoice. Yiram hayam, and all of the sea will raise a shout. Umelo'o, and all that fills them. All of God's creation sings joyfully in thanksgiving for creation. Yismechu hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Umelo'o. Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Umelo'o. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. At the top of page 133, we'll read together words that come from Psalm 97 in English. Adonai is sovereign. Let the earth exult. The many islands rejoice. Dense clouds are around God. Righteousness and justice are the base of God's throne. O you who love Adonai, hate evil. God guards the lives of God's loyal ones, saving them from the hands of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. O you righteous, rejoice in Adonai and acclaim God's holy name. 4 lines from the bottom of 132, we sing the last little piece of that. Light is sown for the righteous and radiance for the upright. Or zarua la tzadik, u'yishrei lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik, u'yishrei lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik,
Yisrael Simcha, Or Zarua Tzadik, Yisrael Simcha, Yisrael Simcha, Or Zarua Tzadik, Yisrael Simcha, Yisrael Simcha. Lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai. Or Zarua Latzadik, Yisrael Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Yisrael Simcha.
Page 135. Adonai is enthroned on cheruvim, on ministering angels, and we stand before God's mountain as we hear even more in this week's Torah portion of standing at the mountain. Last week we received the Ten Commandments, and this week we continue to receive more instruction, and we stand at that mountain and exalt Adonai our God and bow down in that holy place as the last three lines of Psalm 99 remind us, Romamu Adonai Eloheinu, V'hishtakavu l'har kodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu, V'hishtakavu l'har kodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu, V'hishtakavu l'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'hishtakavu l'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'hishtakavu l'har kodsho. On page 136 and 137, we'll read together in English the words of Psalm 29. A psalm of David. Ascribe to Adonai, O divine beings. Ascribe to Adonai glory and strength. Ascribe to Adonai the glory of God's name. Bow down to Adonai, majestic in holiness. The voice of Adonai is over the waters. The God of glory thunders, Adonai, over the mighty waters. The voice of Adonai is power. The voice of Adonai is majesty. The voice of Adonai breaks cedars. Adonai shatters the cedars of Lebanon. God makes Lebanon skip like a calf, Sirion like a young wild ox. The voice of Adonai kindles flames of fire. The voice of Adonai convulses the wilderness. Adonai convulses the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of Adonai causes hinds to calve and strips forests bare. While in God's temple all say glory. Adonai sat enthroned at the flood. Adonai sits enthroned sovereign forever. May Adonai grant strength to God's people. May Adonai bestow on God's people well-being. Those last two lines in the Hebrew right above, Adonai owes them o yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, the last two lines of Hebrew on page 137. Lai, 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 lai. Adonai oz le'amo yitain yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Adonai oz le'amo yitain yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Lai 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 On page 138 and 139, we come to Lecha Dodi, as we welcome in the image of the Shabbat bride. Sometimes it's an image, and sometimes the image feels very real. If you were with us last week in Garden of the Gods, it didn't happen right when we were singing Lecha Dodi, but later on in the service, we went back to sing Lecha Dodi because walking down the pathway in Garden of the Gods, there was a bride in her dress walking down the pathway. So we announced her about a half hour before she came with Lecha Dodi, and then suddenly she was there. So we sang a little Lecha Dodi. But the image is that we bring in the beauty of the place, which at Garden of the Gods is certainly an easy thing to do. And here with our beautiful stained glass and all of the beautiful faces in the room, I think it's equally easy to do, to bring this idea of the beauty of a bride representing the beauty of Shabbat. We welcome that Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi. We'll sing verses 1 and 2 on page 138, verses 5 and 9 on page 139. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 li Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 li Shabbat mekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, hishmi anu el hamiyuchad. Adonai echad, yishmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet ve'letfilah. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Likrat Shabbat nechur v'necha, ki mekor ha'bracha, merosh mikedem mesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machsheva tehila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Verse 5. Oreri, kiva orechu uri, 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 shir da'beri kevod Adonai alai yigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. We rise, we greet the Shabbat bride, we face toward the door. Verse number 9, our final verse. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. While we're all standing and we've greeted the Shabbat bride, take a moment to turn to the people in front of you, behind you, to your left and to your right, and wish them all Shabbat Shalom. For those of you joining us online on templeshalom.com live or on our YouTube channel, Shabbat Shalom to all of you as well. Wonderful to have you with us virtually. And again, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So wonderful to see all of you as we welcome this beautiful Shabbat, as we return to our seats. Hope you got to greet some new faces this evening. Page 140. 140. We continue with Psalm 92, a psalm of Shabbat. Come, let us sing a song of Shabbat. Tov lehodot Adonai. It is good to give thanks to God, Ulzamer l'shimcha elyon, and to sing songs of God's name Most High. Psalm 92, page 140. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon. Hagid b'boker chastecha, ve'emunatecha b'leilut, alei asor ve'aleina ve'lalei higayon v'chinor. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, Lizamer l'shimcha elyon, lizamer l'shimcha elyon, ki simachtani Adonai b'folecha, b'maasei yadecha aranin, ma gadlu maasecha Adonai me'od, amku machshavoteh. Yom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, lizamer l'shimcha elyon, lizamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, lizamer l'shimcha elyon, lizamer l'shimcha elyon, lizamer l'shimcha elyon, lizamer l'shimcha elyon. The righteous will bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courtyards of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. Those words in Hebrew, 8 lines from the bottom of the Hebrew on page 140. Tzaddik katamar yifrach yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach. Ke'erez balvanon yiske, ke'erez balvanon yiske, ke'erez balvanon yiske yiske. Ke'erez balvanon yiske, ke'erez balvanon yiske, ke'erez balvanon yiske yiske. Shetulim b'veit Adonai, b'veit Adonai. Shetulim b'veit Adonai, b'veit Adonai. V'chatzrot Eloheinu, v'chatzrot Eloheinu, v'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. V'chatzrot Eloheinu, v'chatzrot Eloheinu, v'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Odu b'seva, b'seva. Odu b'seva, b'seva. T'shenim v'ra'ananim, t'shenim v'ra'ananim, t'shenim v'ra'ananim yiyu. T'shenim v'ra'ananim, t'shenim v'ra'ananim, t'shenim v'ra'ananim yiyu. Lehagi ki yashar Adonai, lehagi ki yashar Adonai. Suri velo avlatabot, 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 suri velo avlatabot. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la.
la 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 la. La 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 la.
On page 142, Shalom Aleichem, coming to us from the 17th century. Some of these pieces that were added 500 years ago or so into our service began as table songs and songs in the community. And this one speaks of this idea of two angels coming to double up protection for us with Shabbat, two candles, even though we say a prayer for one. Some people have two loaves of challah. And we say that we have an extra soul and an extra angel to protect that soul on Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem. We welcome those angels. We say, come in peace and bless us in peace. And when Shabbat leaves, go out in peace. Page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Lo'achei Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Singchem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 144, Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkada v'yitkada Shemei Rabbah, Amad Yivrach Yutei v'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon, Uvchayedecho Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Karivim Eru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'alam Ulamei Almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Vishtabach, Yitpa'ar, V'tamam, V'tnaseh, V'tadar, V'taleh, V'talal, Shemei D'Kudusha, B'richu Le'elam Min Kol Berchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechemata, Damiran Be'alma, V'miru, Amen. We rise as we turn to page 146. As we invite ourselves to prayer with the words of Baruch Hu. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Amevorach. Baruch Adonai, Amevorach, Amevorach, can all be seated. Page 149. The middle of the page, poetry that speaks of the prayer Ma'ariv Aravim. We give thanks for creation with an evening creation prayer for all of the beauty of the lights in the sky and for the changes between night and day and the changes with each and every hour we read together in the middle of the page. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Should we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Should we draw back, my brothers, my sisters, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Should we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Ha'aravim Lai 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 lai. Page 150. Ahavat Ulam, with an eternal love, you have loved your people Israel by giving us your Torah. We read from it, we're getting near the end, only a few more weeks to go. But I think it's 7 or 8 weeks, something like that, till we make our way to the very end of the book of Deuteronomy and back to the very beginning in Genesis. And each time we start reading it anew, we find new lessons. We hope in each and every year. We find them to be sweet and find them to be pathways for us to walk down all the days of our lives, as we say in this prayer, because they are our lives and the length of our days. Ahavat Olam, we give thanks for Torah, page 150. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, u'kibbutz mishpatim, otanu limadita, otanu limadita. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochvenu v'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki ein hayenu be'orech yameinu uvahem nehege yomam v'layla nehege yomam v'layla Ahavatcha al tasir Yinu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 152 and 153. We join together in the words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivot, Machuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivot, Machuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu advarim ha'el asher anochi mitzavecha yom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו תותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני Adonai Elohechem, Asher Hotzeiti Etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet. We'll read together on page 155. A poetic rendition of these words that we just chanted in Hebrew. I never talked about this, but this particular poetic rendition was written by a rabbi by the name of William Berkowitz. He was a rabbi for decades and decades in New York City, and one of the things that he wrote about and taught about often in his teachings was different ways of approaching prayer. And one of the things he thought is that if we could take the prayers and rewrite them, but not completely rewrite them, but kind of take them and put them into more poetic English that we understand, or more modern translations, because often translations we have are much, much older, it might help us understand the prayers more. Just to put him in time period, I think he died maybe about 20, 25 years ago, something. So a contemporary rabbi trying to give us another pathway into the words we just chanted. We'll read his poetic rendition on page 155. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. 157, we read responsively at the bottom of the page as we come to the Geula, our prayer of redemption. We're going to do it this way. This side of the room, you guys get the first part. This side of the room, you guys get the indented part, all right? You guys have the non-indented part over there on that side of the room. You guys have the indented part. Ready? And here we go. In a world
Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on shoulders. Page 158, we sing that joyful song of redemption. Who is like you, God, among the deities that various people around the world worship? Who can be like you in your splendor and your wonder? Top of 158. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora te'ilo, o seifele, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora te'ilo, o seifele, Malchutecha rahu banecha, ki hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Ze'eli anu ve'omru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, ve'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, ugo'alo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai Go'al Yisrael. We ask God to lie us down, to turn to page 160, and watch over us through the night. To keep us away from enemy and illness and war and famine and sorrow, and spread a shelter of peace over us. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu v'shalom v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu v'shalom v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chayim. The indented words in the Hebrew near the bottom. Ushmor tziteinu uvoenu l'chaim u'shalom me'etzah ve'adonai. Yai la lai 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 la lai, yai la lai 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 la lai, yai la lai 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 lai, yai lai la lai, yai la lai 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 la lai, yai la lai 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 la lai. Lai la lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu v'shalom v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu v'shalom v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Baruch atah Adonai Hapurei Sukkot Shalom Alinu ve'akol Amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 162. The people of Israel will keep Shabbat and observe and guard Shabbat as a sign for all time between us and God, that in 6 days God created the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from all the work and refreshed. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha
Shabbat lidorotam b'ridolam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ridolam v'nuvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam oti le'olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ridolam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ridolam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ridolam u'v'yom ha'shvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ridolam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ridolam. We rise, page 164. We come to the Amidah. Time for our public and private conversations with God. We'll sing the first 3 paragraphs together. We'll start with the Zimun, a meditation on page 164. It comes to us from Psalm 51. The next 2 pages we'll join together, and then we'll take time for our own silent prayers. When you finish with your conversation with the words in the book, the words in your heart, you can then be seated, and we'll come back together then. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chaste Avot V'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem Leman Shmo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagin Baruch Atah Adonai Magin Abraham Be'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai V'chaye Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Vishenei Afar Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memitu Mechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'neman Atalachayot Hakol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechaye Hakol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kedoshim B'chol Yom Yahaladucha Selah Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue through 180, 181 silently.
Turn to page 180, in the middle of the page. May the words of my mouth and meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Yehu ratzon imrefi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'goani yehu l'ratzon imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'goali So turn to page 371. We take a moment to think of those who are in need of healing. We ask for God to bring refuah shlema for Stanley Sachs, Susan Schenk, Uvain ben Shlomo, Mordechai B'Tzipora, David Zimmerman, Kathy Twerdock, Zelda bat Esther Profeta, Brandy Davis, Faye Green, Frederick Kaufman, Janice Broder, Yafa bat Max, Yosef Meir ben Abraham Basara, Marsha Weiss, Ganendo bat Sima, Adam DeCole, Jane Pogi, Naomi Talia bat Sara, Robin Sumners, April, David and Dylan Morris, Scott Slinger, Bracha Gila bat Ganendo, Yelid Rach ben Bracha Gila, Noemi Espinoza, Chaya Reza bat Melech Baruch, Rivka bat Pearl, Nicholas Yoshis, and Jose Gonzalez. Do we have any other names for healing? We'll start on this side of the room. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any others on this side of the room? On this one? Thank you. Any others? For all those we've named and for all those in need, the middle of 371, we ask God to bring them complete healing as quickly as it may come to them as we sing together the words of Mishavera. Mishavera avotes mikol abraha leimoteinu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishebera imoteinu mikor habracha leavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. This week we are reading in the Torah some warnings from Moses. He's been giving us for weeks and will continue for weeks in our weekly readings of Torah, instructions on how to set up our society in the land of Israel. Once we get there and we get some things of what will be good if we follow God's pathways and what might not be so good if we don't. We're told that at Mount Sinai we were given the oral Torah and the written Torah. The written Torah, the scrolls that are right there inside that ark, and the oral Torah that becomes the Talmud in later days. And I have here one section of the Talmud. It's called Pirkei Avot, the paragraphs or the sayings of our ancestors. And it's a collection of the other stuff. Why a collection of the other stuff? Well, the Talmud is divided up into various sections, and the rabbis work on different topics, and then sometimes they meander off to side topics and comes back. But after most of the Talmud was compiled, they had all this other material of stuff that we use the Hebrew term Eitzah Tovah. It basically means good advice. They had all this extra stuff that rabbis had sent through time, and it was all really good stuff, but it didn't seem to fit in the categories of the rest of the Talmud. So they said, let's just gather it all up together and put it into one book. And it begins with these words. Moshe kibel Torah Sinai. Moses received Torah at Sinai. Umisara liYehoshua. And he taught the tradition to Joshua. Yehoshua lizikneim. And from Joshua to the elders. Uzikenim, the Nevi'im. And from the elders to the prophets. Unevi'im Misorah Ishei HaKnesset HaGadol. And the prophets handed it down to the men of the great assembly. Haim Amru, and they would say, Shlosha Dvarim, three things. Hevu mitunim badin, be deliberate in your judgment. V'hamidu talmidim, and raise up many students or disciples. V'asus siyag l'Torah, and build a fence around the Torah. It's Mishnah 1 of chapter 1 of Pirkei Avot. Moses received the words at Mount Sinai and passed them down from generation to generation to generation and said, be good with your judgment, and raise up disciples and put a fence around the Torah. We continue that process with every synagogue in the entire world today. Because when we bring people into the leadership of our synagogue, Moses to Joshua, to the elders, to the prophets, to the men of the great assembly, to some rabbis 1,000 years ago, to some rabbis 5,000 years ago, to today. And we still do the same thing with those words. We try to make good judgments. We try to teach the next generation to make those good Torah judgments. And we build a fence around the Torah to protect the words of Torah by building a Jewish community is how we build that fence. Because our fence, it's not a literal fence, it's a fence of people. And we build that fence of protection around the Torah by building a community. And the elders and the men of the great assembly of old today become the people who lead our congregation, which includes our board of directors. So tonight, I'd like to ask the members of our board of directors, most of whom are here, a couple were not able to be here with us, but our board members at large, Karen Shapiro. As I say your name, if you'll come on up to the bima. Karen Shapiro, Danny Schnee, Judy Oppenheim, Rebecca Neff, Denny Elston, Eric Deutsch. Our immediate past president, Robert Grossman. Our secretary and president-elect, Maggie Riggs. Our treasurer, Carolyn Geiser. Our vice president, Jeremy Dowell. And our president, Brent Mello. As we bring our 2024-2025 board members up to the Bima, these are the people whom we charge with this idea to be the next generation of recipients of Torah from Moses through the generations that we read in Pirkei Avot to the Great Assembly. In the Great Assembly, this is our Great Assembly. And we charge all of you with a task. First, to be deliberate in your judgment as you make decisions for our community. To build up disciples. That means whatever committees you're in charge of, we need more people. We need more people to join those committees. But we raise them up through our committee structure into leadership in our community. And to be, not to build, but to be that fence around the Torah. So I'm going to ask all of you to please rise. And I'm just going to slip in right here behind you guys here. And we're going to open up this ark. And I'm going to ask some of you to take these Torah scrolls in your hands. Who's grabbing the first one? Here we go. And then if you'll all turn around and face toward the congregation, in your hands, and we'll let you trade off for the empty-handed in a moment or two if you'd like, are the Torah scrolls of our congregation. Each one of them contains the 5 books of Moses, the story of our people. I know some of you are staring at the little one. I'm going to tell you something that's true. I'm not making this up. About a year or two ago, some of you came. We brought in a sofer, a Torah scribe, to fix and assess our Torahs. And he gave us an insurance value on each one of the Torahs. I don't want to give you any hints, but does anybody guess which one he said was the most valuable money-wise? It's our little baby Torah. Isn't that amazing? But he said because of the beauty of the writing that's on this particular scroll, that's why it's the one that's valued with the most money. And is the writing on the scrolls that is important. We're told in our lives that we're all supposed to write a Torah scroll. And as the leaders of our community, you get to write that Torah scroll. Sometimes we take it literally, that we write the words beginning with Bereshit in the book of Genesis and ending with Yisrael at the end of the book of Deuteronomy. But the Torah doesn't end with those words. The Torah continues through us. And through your leadership, you get to write your Torah. Each one of these Torah scrolls has a yod, a finger to point out the words, a hand that we follow along in the words of Torah as we learn and teach them. This yod represents your ability and your trust that the congregation has to be the ones who help us walk through the words of Torah. Each Torah scroll has a shield, because remember it says make a fence around the Torah to protect the Torah. We protect Torah not only by making sure that we got an insurance quote so we can insure the Torah scrolls that are physically in the ark, but we protect the Torah by bringing Torah to the Jewish community and learning it and teaching it to the next generation. Each one of these Torah scrolls has a crown. 2 crowns, as a matter of fact. They come from the idea of the rimonim, the crowns that were on, that we found on the garments of the high priest. That we crown our words of glory. It means that when we make decisions as a board of directors, that you make them to bring honor and glory to the congregation. Inside, let's step up just a tiny bit. Inside here, I'm going to see if I can do this with you holding it. We'll see inside this cover that there's this right here. In Hebrew, a chagorah, in Yiddish, a wimple. When we roll the Torah, these hold the Torah together. They are
the safety belt, so to speak, of our Torah scrolls. And you as board members become the safety belt of our congregation to hold it together. As our board members, you hold these Torah scrolls in your hands. It represents the idea that you hold our congregation in your hands. And so, may you follow these words, this Eitzah Tovah, this good advice that it gives us in the very first sentence of Pirkei Avot. That as you hold the Torah in your hands and you hold the congregation in your hands, may you be deliberate in judgment. May you rise up the next generation of our congregation, and may you be the fence that is the fence around the Torah. And with these words, we say a blessing for you, and with this blessing, we bring you into the leadership of our congregation. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be lifted up toward you and grant you God's most precious gift, the gift of completeness and of peace. And let us together say, Amen. And now, just to make it official, because this is the board of all of you, so please repeat after me. I state your name. Half the people said state your name. I don't know. The members of Temple Shalom officially install you as the leadership of the board of directors of our community. And we thank you for the gifts that you bring to our congregation. Amen. And then we're gonna open the doors up here, and we'll one by one.
The small one.
Yeah, we're gonna put the small one in that corner. Where's the small one? I'm gonna put that in the corner here. Thank you. I'll take this one here. Thank you. There's my next one here. I'll take this one here. Over there. Right smack in the middle. This one goes right here in the middle. All right. Thank you all. We can all go be seated again before we close the room. Thank you. And we can all be seated. Page 586. I know you just sat down, so I'm going to count to 10 before I tell you to stand up again for Aleinu. 10. There we go. We'll all rise for Aleinu, the bottom of page 586. And then continuing on. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'teinu la'liotzer b'reishit, shelo asanu kugoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kimishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu noteh shamayim veyoser haaretz, umoshav yikaro bashamayim mima'al, ushchinatu zo, begove meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efes ulato, kakatu b'torato, yadata hayom v'hashivota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, bashamayim mima'al, ve'al ha'aretz, mitachat ein od,
Ein Od, the middle of 590. Ki hamalchut shelcha hi olam antimloch b'chavod. Kakatu b'toratecha, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. V'ne'emar, Vaya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo echad. Ushemo echad. We can all be seated. In our yard sites this week, we recall the memories of Chester Wingfield, Isabel Casado, Margaret Silver, Martin Buxbaum, Max Silverberg, Abe Weinberg, Estelle Black, Mary Shiner, Walter Lubran, Arnold Simon, Jeanette Greenberg, Kristen Penny, Leo Rubinow, Arthur Berman, Florence Goldstein, Jeannie Chase, Rose Thaler, Sylvia Simon, Anna Friedman, Barbara Lindsay, Daniel Deutscher, Danielle Leventhal, Ellen Berman, Grace Hillhouse, and Manny Greenberg. Are there any other yard sites that anyone is observing this week? Thank you. Any others? Yehu zichronam levracha, may their memories be an eternal blessing. We ask mourners to rise and those whose custom it is to stand with them. As we turn in our Siddur to page 598. Yehu zichronam levracha, may their memories be a blessing. Yitkadal v'yitkadash me rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agala u'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mavorach la'alam ulmei ulmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudesha b'rechut. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata. Amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mrama. Huya sei shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We can all be seated. Before we bring our service to a close, we'll invite our president, who's up here with our board members, to share with us a few announcements of things coming up soon here at Temple Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is a great time to be a member at Temple Shalom. Thank you for joining us at Erev Shabbat services this evening. If you're new to Temple Shalom, welcome. We're very glad to have you. Be sure to introduce yourself if you haven't. Thank you, Rabbi Sherwood, for leading us this evening and for everyone who participated and for all of you who brought food for the potluck. Thank you. And Mazel Tov to my fellow new board members and returning board members. We're going to have a great year. We've got some great people working on behalf of the congregation. If you have children, it's sign-up time for religious school time of the year. Application forms and the 24-25 calendar are available at the website, templeshalom.com, or you can contact the office, and we'll send you the forms in the mail. And if you have preschoolers, preschool is also accepting applications for morning preschool during the year, and we have only a few slots left. Again, forms and calendar available online at templeshalom.com, or give the office a call. This Sunday is back to Shul. This is the 25th, 9:30 a.m. to noon. Come meet teachers and have some fun. There will be a food truck feast that's open to everyone from 11 to noon. So if you are hungry, show up. And I understand there'll be food trucks there, and we'll have fun. As you know, we're already starting to prepare for the high holidays. Today we have a hard copy version of the memorial book form. It's supposed to be in the foyer. I forgot to look, but it should be in the foyer. And for those of you that would rather get it online, there is an online version at templeshalom.com as well. We also have guest ticket forms. If you're bringing friends or family with you that are not members, there is an online form for anybody who wishes to sign up for guests, and this includes adult children of members as well. Look at the events coming up section on the homepage and you will find that information. We've got some great education programs for our adults. We have some new opportunities. There is a crash course in Jewish history with Kobe Chumash that starts Wednesday, actually it's on Wednesday starting September 4th. It runs for 10 weeks from 6 to 8 p.m. and there's a member discount. So when you sign up on the website, be sure you're logged in so you get that discount. And there is a new Melton School class that starts on Tuesdays for 10 weeks beginning on October the 15th from 6 to 8. Israeli literature as a window to Israeli society, also being taught by Kobe Chumash, and registration is handled through Melton for that one, but you can get the details at templeshalom.com. Common theme there. We have, you've noticed we have security at our services, and thanks to all the members that are helping support our security. It's a shame that we have to have it, but we feel really good. We have really nice guards that come and look after us. If you would like to support our security expense, you can do so on the website. And if you know anybody that's ill or hospitalized or needs some additional help or suffering from a loss, please let the temple office know so that we can reach out to them and provide encouragement and support. And I understand Mazel Tov is in order for Danny and Susan Schnee that are celebrating the occasion of their wedding anniversary. Which number is it? I'm going to ask Susan because if he gets it wrong, he's in trouble. 38. So Mazel Tov, as well as any of the Oneg mavens who are contributing to our Oneg this evening. So thank you all, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Page 625. We'll join together in Adon Olam to bring our service to a close, after which we'll make our way into the back for a little Kiddush and Motzi. And there's a cake back there, which is in honor of our board and Danny and Susan? Well, I'm making it in honor of you too, because it's your anniversary. So there we go. So it's in honor of it says board on it, but just where it says 24-25 board of directors, and then in the invisible print it says and happy anniversary to Danny and Susan. That's in invisible frosting, not invisible ink, right? It would be invisible frosting at the bottom there. And so, Adon Olam, and then we'll join the little Kiddush and Motzi. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, V'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'eit Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra, Ve'acharei, Kiflot HaKol, Levado, Loch Nora, Hu Haya, Ve'hu Hoved, Ve'hu Yeh, Ve'tifara. Adon Olam Asher Malach V'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra V'eit Nasa V'chetzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'acharei Kiflot HaKol Levado Yinoch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoved V'hu Yeh V'tifara. Adon Olam Asher Malach V'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra V'eit Nasa V'chetzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'acharei Kiflot HaKol Levado Yinoch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoved V'tifara, V'hu Haya V'hu Hoved V'tifara, V'hu Echad Ve'ein Sheni
Hakira Lireshi Litachli Velo Haoz Nehamisra Vehu Eli Vechai Goali Vitzur Kevi Eitzara Vehu Nisi Umanosti Menat Kosi V'yom Ekra Ve'yado Akidruchi Ve'ejishad Ve'aira Ve'imruchi Ve'vihati Adonai li V'lo ira Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzini rali inaso b'chetzako azay melech shimoni kra ve'achare kitodako v'vado yulok nora v'hu haya v'hu yeh b'tifara Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzini rali inaso b'chetzako azay melech shimoni kra ve'achare kitodako v'vado yulok nora v'hu haya v'hu v'tifara v'hu haya v'hu v'tifara v'hu haya v'hu B'tifara. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please join us for Kiddush Mosi in the back. Mazel Tov to our board of directors, and to those of you on TempleShalom.com and Temple Shalom YouTube page. Shabbat Shalom to all of you at home. Shabbat.